Okay, you guys, so the sound didn't go through on the original recording because at some point I accidentally turned off the microphone. Never done that before, but hopefully this is working. So what I want to do is just go through the course content today. So if you're on 412 CC01, you go to course content right here, and it leads you through everything. So what we want to do first is look at the course outline, and it's here. So if you look here, you'll see all the information. A couple of you mentioned that this part right here, this prerequisite, was incorrect in the first version. So don't panic. I have the correct one now. I copied and pasted from another course outline for 410 and forgotten to change it. The next thing is our class schedule is Tuesday, Thursday, 9:30 to 11. So Thursdays, we're going to meet at McEwen to go through PowerPoint lectures together, and there's discussion and so on. On Tuesdays, you're going to be working on questions from the textbook, watching and responding to recorded debate presentations, and responding to discussion questions online. The final exam, there's no midterm, final exam will be scheduled during final exam week, and it will be in class. And as you note, you've seen it on all your course outlines, final exam is from December 10th to 18th, so sometime in there. The location for the class is 5317 and online. So Thursdays in class, Tuesdays online, at your own time. There's no set synchronous recording. Okay, I'm Stephanie Ibach. I'm a CPA CGA, and I've been a controller at a school district. I've worked in a consulting role with various types of organizations, including not-for-profits, as both managerial and financial consultant, and also trainer. So I've got some broad experience. I also do work with the CPA. I'm a session leader for some of the different sessions like Capstone 1, Capstone 2, Core 1, Core 2, that kind of thing. My office is 5241B, and the phone number there you can use if you need to leave a message because you have to miss something. It will send an email to my McEwen address, so I'll be able to access it. It sends voicemail and everything. Best way to get a hold of me is my email. I do check it very frequently, so that's probably the best way. And of course, there's also Blackboard. Now, in terms of office hours, on Tuesday from 11 till 2, I have online office hours. And what they are, also on Tuesday from 5 to 6, what they are is it's WebCT. So it's like Zoom. What I do is create a locked room so that you aren't with a whole bunch of other people trying to ask your question. Because I know sometimes it's a little frustrating to have other people hearing your questions. So this way you can come in, ask it yourself, and then the next person can come in when you're done. So those are my online office hours. Thursday from 11:30 to 12:30 in my office, or office hours as well, so face-to-face or by appointment. So if you need to see me to talk about the course and you want to do it face-to-face, we can do that, or we can do it on a Zoom or WebCT call, whatever works for you. The link to the online office hours is found in Blackboard, and I'll show you that as we go through. Here's the required text. I'll talk more about that as well as we go through. Some students have asked if they can use the 7th edition. It's up to you. The changes for the new text, pretty much they kept everything in the same order, but the changes are that they added more revised, newer accounting studies, and they've highlighted different things that have come up in the news since the old edition. The other thing is the problems are all going to be kind of different and mixed up. So I suggest getting the 8th edition. You can buy it online. I'll show you the prices and stuff in a sec. But should you be stuck with a 7th edition, make sure you're paired up with someone else so that you can look at how different the problems are and figure out which are the ones you should do. Not that I'm advocating that, but you know, if you need to, that's what you do. So Blackboard, you can go and look at that. The description, you can look at that. Course learning outcomes. Basically what we're going to do is, you know, all the rules you learned in 315, 316, and you know, you've memorized them, you know financial accounting really well. And 410, of course, you're going to be learning some in there. This says, okay, why do we have these standards? What is the reasoning behind having these financial standards? So that's what we're looking at here. So we're going to start and go, you know what? What if it was different? What if we did all current value rather than historical cost? Things like that. We're going to move through, we're going to look at accounting studies, how the information we as accountants give investors affects the stock price, how useful we are as accountants, because that is really critical to our profession. And then we're going to look at how society and accounting and everything fits together. So it's kind of blending the economics, which is the basis behind accounting and finance, and then throwing accounting and finance on top of that. I like this course. It's pretty interesting, and hopefully you'll find it interesting as well. Okay, here's what everybody likes to know, the evaluation breakdown. So there's a group annotated bibliography for 15%. It's due on Blackboard, and I've given you the due dates. There's a group paper as well. I will be putting more information out on those in the upcoming week, and you can look at that there. You're going to be picking your own group, and for the paper and annotated bibliography, it's the same group, 3 to 4 people. And for the debate presentation, you need 2 of you to be a pro side and 2 of you to be a con side for the debate. Then there's going to be individual discussion questions. So on Blackboard, there's a discussion area, and I'll show you where it is. And every week you have a chance to respond to some discussion questions. I'll post a document about the discussion questions and how you'll earn your marks. For sure, you are going to get some marks for responding to the debates. Now, the debates aren't going to be live. I planned them online because I wasn't sure where COVID was going. And if we had to transition and go off, I wanted everybody to be on the same wavelength. So there, you're going to, again, I'm going to put information up about this, but your debate presentations are going to be online, then you're going to respond to each other online, and then the rest of the class can ask questions. And that'll be part of the discussion marks here. We're also going to do, or we did in class, first day assignment, and so everybody that participated there did earn their 1% so far in the course. The final exam is 30%. I see I got carried away with the percent signs, but it is just 30%. It's cumulative, it's chapters 1 to 13, and I will put up information about that. So the annotated bibliography and research paper in groups of 4 students, so 3 or 4. If you have to push it, you can go to 5, but I'll put information up on that. The debates in group of 2 students each for pro and con. Again, depending on the number of students, it might not be exactly even to divide by 4. So you might be debating by yourself, or you'll be in a group of 3. But overall, it should be 2 and 2. And topics covered during those debates, and I say in class, but they're going to be online, are going to be part of the exam for the final. Now, discussion questions, I'll give them in class on Blackboard Learn, and you get marks based on your answers to the questions. Mostly to show your thinking and participating. Now, student responsibilities, you can read that. Grading, you can read that, all the same. the policies, make sure you read. One of the big ones is the academic integrity policy. It comes up a lot in this class because during the debate and during the paper and the annotated bibliography, a lot of students aren't sure how to cite sources. And I will get actual copy and paste from a source, and they'll put it in the paper, and at the bottom in references, they'll list the reference. And that's not the correct citing. So if you're unsure how to cite, the library gives really good presentations on how to research and cite, also if you aren't sure how to research. And they're also good, they have online chat. So you can say, I did this, here's my source, how do I cite it, kind of thing. So we can talk about that again when we're doing the paper. GPA, you know about that. So here's the class schedule. The green ones are in class. So September 9th, you got familiar, that's today, well, it would have been today, the first day, familiar with the Blackboard site, get the textbook, that kind of thing. September 14th, you're going to read through chapters 1 and 2. September 16th, I'm going to lecture. I do a PowerPoint lecture on chapters 1 and 2. Then on the 21st, you complete questions on chapters 1 and 2, and if there's any, online discussions. So online discussions go throughout the course. It's good to answer them as you go through. I think I'll close them off after the topic is done, a week or so after the topic is done. Okay, then there's the debates listed. So September 28th is the first day a debate's going to be posted. And then people will respond. Again, I'm going to post a debate instructions on your main Blackboard site, and you can look at that. Okay. I also have in the dates the annotated bibliography is due. We've got a reading week, group papers due, and then all the way to the final exam. So that was the class schedule. So going back, that's the course outline. There weren't really any questions on that in the class that I actually went through, so we're good there. Now, textbook information. This is what the textbook looks like. Now, the purchasing options at the McEwen bookstore are you can buy a hardcover, and it is a crazy price. I think it's like $208. $208.25. However, there's an e-text that you buy online using this link from the bookstore, and it's $82.50, so significantly lower. Yeah, and that's the information. They did add a new author this edition, so there will be some differences to the 7th, although I did notice Patricia, who I actually know, stayed pretty close to the regular outline. So how that'll change in the future, we don't know, but right now that's how it is. Okay, there weren't any questions on the textbook either. So I think we can go back. Now, this first day assignment was kind of fun, and you guys that weren't there, I just have to share this now, you guys. Just give me a second. You guys that weren't there, have a chance to put your comments on here. So hopefully you can see this Accounting 412 Accounting Theory first day assignment. So basically you're imagining you've started a new country after an apocalypse. Things have started just building up. People are starting to build businesses. And this is kind of like how way before the stock market started, how it started. businesses were developing, they wanted to expand. Usually they wanted to send ships to other countries to get spices, fabric, that kind of thing. And they couldn't finance it themselves. A lot of times royalty financed some stuff, like for example, Columbus, a lot of it was, the New World, finding all that. Colonialism was funded by that, but commerce was funded by some investors. So it's the same kind of thing here. You're starting from scratch. There's no standards. Up to now, people have relied on a handshake and kind of trusted the business partner they're giving money to. So now that it's increasing, people are starting to say, you know what, if I'm going to invest, I want to do some things. So I want you, and it can be in a group or by yourself. Of course, you guys that are all working at home, you're probably by yourselves. Kind of think about it and put in your answers to some of these questions. And don't feel constrained by Canadian rules and standards or IFRS. You're starting from scratch. So it might be very basic at this point. What I'm trying to get you to do is step out of the box that you've just learned in 315, 16, and 410 and try and think, why do we need all these accounting standards? What is the point? Well, it's to give people information about a business. So what do you need? And so we spent the rest of the class doing this, and you guys are welcome to put it on if you like and earn 1%. Okay, so that was the first day assignment. So hopefully that made sense. So I'm going to stop sharing. Oh, I'm just going to stop sharing everything and go back to my Blackboard site. Okay, so that was the first day assignment. Here's a section for announcements. So always check them. If I'm going to miss class, I always send an email and put an announcement. I'm not sure I can see that happening this year. Well, you never know, right? I don't. Better knock on wood. Anyway, so check there. Right now, the only announcement, I think, is recruitment and grad school sessions for this year. So very interesting information. Okay, then there's PowerPoint slides. They're going to be updated each week, at least a couple of days before the lecture. So I'm going to try and put them up on Tuesday. It might be on Wednesday. Those of you who weren't in class, I mentioned that I did have an eye injury. I had a vein occlusion on, oh my God, right before classes started, I think, the week before. Anyway, so I've lost half the sight in one of my eyes. So it's pretty hard. I'm still trying to get used to it. Using the computer really gives me a headache, though, till that left eye becomes more in charge. Unfortunately, it was my dominant eye that lost the vision. At any rate, I will try and be as early as possible, but watch for it before class. With each PowerPoint slide, I give a list of questions for you to do, and that's what you're going to be working on Tuesday at home, as well as doing the debates and all that. So watch for the problem solutions. They'll all be in here. Now, here's the discussion questions we were talking about. So I just clicked on them. So this is the form you're going to respond. So I'm going to put one for each one. I was going to do it all in one, but it got too messy. So here's the first day assignment. You just go on here, and a lot of people have posted. You just create a thread and put in your information. Please make sure, especially if you're in a group, your whole groups, all your names are there, because that's how I'm going to award marks. Okay, so just create a thread and you should be good. So that's how the discussion board's going to work. And I will put questions pretty much every week. Now you only have 10% that you can earn from discussion questions, and some of it is reserved for the debate. So I will talk about that when I put up my discussion questions information. Under here, the debate choices and the schedule and the submission link will be here. And then the debate discussion links. Here's your group paper topics and submission link. Again, I'm going to put information about all of these up in the next couple days, and then I'll send you an email saying, hey, the information's up. And then when we get here, the final exam information, I'll tell you basic coverage. I'll tell you basic breakdown of percentage, kind of per chapter, that kind of thing, and tell you what kind of questions and so on. Okay, so that pretty much is the course content for this course. And then while we were in class, everybody spent time working on the day 1 assignment. And so I will leave you to go do that, and I will send you an email once I've posted all the information. So I will see you on Thursday. I hope everything goes well. If you've got any questions, please email me. Take care. Bye.